What's up, my dudes? Got some El Nino Muddy made by Kyle Howard 118. So, I don't know when in the hell this track was actually made. I found this in the old catalog of tracks on DS19EU, which is Dark Slide's website. You know how you basically can't download anything on Reflex Central anymore, right? So thanks to Dark Slide, you can still go in there and download these really cool old school Reflex tracks that are literally, I think he's got like basically every single Reflex track that's pretty much ever been put on Reflex Central, you know what I'm saying? So he's got like all of the old stuff on there. So it's definitely worth going and checking out if you haven't really done that yet, or you go hop on Reflex Central and it's like, well, what the hell is this? There's like 5 tracks and I can't go to any other tracks, or you can't even get a Reflex Central account, Man, Darksides really is doing this game so much justice by being able to have that extra website on the side to be able to still go download these tracks, because it's just, man, it's crazy. Like, it's just so sad to see that happen to Reflex, how Reflex Central shut down like that, because that was really the only place you could download tracks, But either way, you can still come on there and have a crap load of fun on some of these tracks. I mean, just look at this, dude. Like, so this is actually a full-blown free ride track right here. But I think there was a raceable version on it as well, and I think there is a dry version of this too, because it's like specifically a muddy version of this El Nino track, whatever the hell. So really interesting design right here. This track caught my eye whenever I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go down through here on all these old school free ride tracks on Dark Slide's website. And I was like, I'm just going to find me one and then we'll do a review on it. And for whatever reason, this one really caught my eye, seeing all the mud ruts and the everything on this track. Holy tabletop. God damn, dude. You can hit that from like so far back. Oh my God. So it's interesting the sort of mud effect that they've kind of created on the Reflex custom tracks. You guys know on like the console versions how they had that sort of they had those 2 DLC national tracks. You know what I'm talking about? Holy cross ruts, Spencer. Jesus Christ, dog. Come on now. You can do it. Little chee-chee train that could, boys. Going negative 3 miles an hour up that jump face, but yeah, so you guys know the 2 little DLC national tracks for Reflex, how one of them kind of had like a little bit of this muddy vibe to it. It wasn't this much, obviously, but it had a little bit of this. And then obviously they've had like, even with some of the default Reflex tracks, you had some of them that would have like little muddy sections, little water sections and stuff. So it's basically like you just put that over the whole track. It's like you just put a small layer of that over the track. I mean, this isn't like standing water or anything, but it's just you can see the slick shine effect over the entire track, and it kind of does feel like that as well. So it's not like insane mud or anything. It's not like, oh my God, you're just going to slip down instantly, but it's good enough to kind of give you the skatey, sketchy feeling to it, but still like rideable. So that's kind of cool. It's not like so muddy that it just gets so like stupid you can't even hardly ride on it. Here I am like rolling jumps out here, boys. Professional, baby. Oh man, not that difficult, guys. Just rolling singles, hitting like 2-foot tall jumps, negative 10 miles an hour. It's all good, dog. You know what it is. Man, that is a jump and a half. But this just reminds me of like those more old school Reflex custom free ride tracks. There's something about this that just kind of reminds me of that. That whole era where that was really popping off on YouTube, and there's a lot of those YouTubers that got super big, super quick off of making like track reviews on the PC version of Reflex, right? That was a boom and a half when that happened. Man, I remember that. Like, that was probably one of the biggest motocross gaming booms there ever has been, was, when Reflex was really popping off on consoles, and then YouTube started really going, and then they really started doing the PC version of Reflex, and then the track reviews, and oh, hey, look at all this custom track content for Reflex, and you got a lot of people on the console version of Reflex that had no idea that there was this whole other world of Reflex, and so I think a lot of us kind of got into to the PC motocross realm in that way. Nowadays, it's not so much like that because Reflex has kind of gone in a different direction. But it used to be like that. I mean, Reflex used to be the motocross game on PC. Now it's kind of like moved into the official Supercross game, but those aren't really like full-blown user-created custom. I mean, they do have a track editor in the Supercross games, but it's not the same, you know? It's just not the same level of creativity and unique design and stuff like that that you can get on these. So, but this track does have a lot of, even though it's like a muddy style, kind of more softer dirt feel, it does have a crap load of pre-made on it too. So you got a lot of these pre-made ruts going on. Man, that jump right there, see, it's like you want to scrub it, so you want to like really start turning on that big jump face, but if you do, then you're not going to land the jump all the way because of how big it is. Maybe if I had my gearing a little more top speed, I could get away with scrubbing that more, but right there, I'd just have to do like a basic hit it with all the momentum that I have and speed into the jump face and then just do a normal whip over it, you know, instead of trying to do like a full-blown scrub. Because if you do that, you're not going to be able to jump it all the way, which I don't guess you have to jump it all the way because it really is just a pretty mellowed out tabletop at the end of the day. You don't really have to worry about it too much. But, dude, this is sick right here. This pre-made shit, this is awesome. I love when people aren't scared to go in there and put some pre-made on something, right? It's like, and that's a problem on MX Simulator custom tracks too. Most people are just too scared to go in there and put pre-made. Little pre-made ruts, little pre-made roughness. Give it a little more of a real feel. You know, a lot of people are kind of scared to do that. You see a lot of MX Simulator custom tracks that just have that like unrealistic level of smooth everywhere. You know, it's like a track that's so perfect that it would never be like that in real life. It's literally like glass flat straightaways, perfectly smooth jump faces, not even the slightest little remote bit of a kicker on anything at all. You know, literally no ruts, no nothing. And even if they do put a rut, they'll put like one big inside rut that's not really even a rut. It's more like a berm, you know. So you kind of run into that a little bit when you start getting into that. But this is a free ride track. We can get out here and just do some power slides out here in the grass, boys. Goddamn. Hell yeah. God, that's actually really fun. The traction of this is just perfect to do that on. Whoa, dude. Slide like a mother on that jump face. That was a accidental scrub. You guys thought it was my skills, but it definitely wasn't at all. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting, the whole wheelie system to Reflex. It's always, man, I played so much Reflex, it's not even funny. That seemed like a lifetime ago when I really was playing Reflex every day for 4 or 5 years straight on the console. That literally felt like a lifetime ago, bro. It's just crazy. And it's so crazy how my YouTube channel just doesn't really show that at all. Like, I get on here, it just looks like I'm just messing around like a dude that doesn't really know Reflex and, like, just, you know, hopping on here playing it, like, once every 3 or 4 months and, like, not even really playing it, right? So my skills aren't sharpened at all, like the most rushed you could ever imagine on Reflex. Because I just don't play the game like I used to at all. I play MX Simulator like that, but not Reflex like that, you know? Reflex used to be my simulator, you see what I'm saying? And now MX Simulator took the place of Reflex, so it just doesn't get played like it once was. But this is really the motocross game. The first one I really played to that hardcore level was Reflex. This was the first one that I really, really got into like that, so... Yeah, it's, man, so many memories on Reflex, dude. Like, it's crazy to think that was the big popping thing on YouTube whenever I first kind of started coming around YouTube. And then I started really pushing the track reviews on MX Simulator, which hadn't really been done that much when I started doing it. It wasn't like, I mean, there was a couple people doing it on Reflex, but it wasn't that big of a thing on MX Sim till I really started going in there doing a bunch of track reviews on MX Simulator. Then it kind of started to become a thing on that too, you know. But then I was doing the whole custom track thing on MX Simulator as well. which you used to not really see a whole lot of, like, people that would make custom tracks for Reflex or MX Simulator come in there and make a video on their custom track that they made and talk about it. Like, typically most of your track makers aren't really like YouTubers, you know, and if they are, they don't even really talk. They'll just show the track, you know. They'll just show you a little short clip of them riding a lap on their new custom track. They won't even talk about it. So I was certainly a pioneer on that. Here's the track I just made, and let me come in here and talk about it, you know. So there was a lot of... It's interesting to go back in the history books and look at how that all came about back in, like, 2014, 15, you know, right around that time when the Reflex custom track PC era started to change, and it went to MX Simulator quite a bit, you know, just kind of went through a couple different stages there. But yeah, dude, sick track right here. I'm not really sure, is this trying to be a supercross track? I don't know. I guess that's what this is trying to be. You might be able to hook up to that table right there. Lots of pre-made, slight bit of slickness. Not too slick though. He's got a cool little vibe going here where it's not too slick. By the way, I'll leave a link down below in the description to the Dark Slides website if you want to go. All you got to do is go to the free ride tracks on there and scroll down a little bit, and you'll find this one. And yeah, you don't even have to have a damn Reflex Central account. There you go, boys. So yeah, it's kind of cool. It comes to this whole big jump area, super wide area. Oh man, that is a jump for sure. He's got an inside rut right here. You can, like, slide into the inside rut because of the mud on here. So yeah, I would call this like in the grand scale scheme of, like, mud tracks in real life, I would call this like a slight, like maybe you could call it like a medium slick mud, maybe something like that. It's not like a full blown super mud or like super slick or super deep. It's just kind of a medium, kind of like that medium mud style. Little bit of slickness to it, but not a whole lot, you know. I feel like I've definitely rode on slicker mud in real life than what this feels like right here, for sure. But yeah, so the only place he really has a ton of ruts going up the jump faces and stuff is in that second section that you see me completely screw up every single lap. That's about the only section that really has that level of ruts going up it. Everywhere else doesn't seem to be quite as bad. So is that a triple? Jesus Christ. You have to hit that wide open to be able to jump that all the way. Guess that's kind of a triple. Then you come up over here. Yeah, see, there's no really, like, rhyme or reason to the layout or the... I really like seeing tracks like this, I honestly do, because you get in a rhythm of those people that will just make the most standard, like a real-life AMA Supercross track on a perfectly flat surface, standard dash triple, standard whoop section, standard triple rhythm section, standard on-off section, and that's all there is to the track. There's no elevation, there's no interesting lines, there's no interesting width of the track changes or anything like that. Finally jumped that a little farther than I was. So it's cool to see kind of, you know, this is certainly more of a cool, unique, like Unleashed, Untamed style track, or, you know, it kind of has cool vibes like that going on with it. So overall, probably give this puppy like a pretty cool mud track, dude, honestly. Man, you gotta be careful not over jump that one, because then it makes this tricky right here. He's kind of got like each one of at the end of the ruts there, it kind of creates a bit of a kicker effect because of where the ruts kind of dug down into the ground, but then it goes back to its normal. I don't even know how to explain that, but it, you know, like when you go in and out of a rut in a straight line, it kind of kicks you up a little bit because it goes from that dug down rut to the normal surface layer, you know. So you can kind of feel, that's what makes that section right there a little more tricky. Damn, I don't know how you'd triple that. You can't hardly get the momentum because the mud kind of pulling down your power a little bit. But either way, overall, probably give this thing like a... I mean, let's just be honest. There's not a whole lot off the track. But I wish I would have looked to see where this track was made. It would have gave me a little bit more of an idea, because I know everything's kind of advanced and changed over time. And so you can't be too harsh on a track You know what I mean? When it was made way, way back in the day, you gotta be, I can't like compare this like I would a brand new Reflex track. It was lower on the list for sure of the free ride tracks, so it had to have been quite a bit older. So I'm not gonna be quite as harsh on it off track wise and stuff like. I mean, just in general, I'm not gonna be as harsh on it as I would like a new track. So overall, probably give this thing like a. I mean, it's unique as shit, dude. I like the skybox. I'm gonna give it like a 8 overall, 8.5 overall, something like that. You know, it's kind of in that range, I would say. Really interesting track. Definitely fun to get on something super different like this. Really muddy, ruddy, lots of pre-made. You know, this is a mud track that doesn't like rely on terrain deformation. It's interesting how most of the Reflex custom tracks don't really seem to run a whole lot of terrain deformation on them. It's like they almost have them set up to where it doesn't hardly even make any terrain deformation. Interesting MX simulator. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's funny how, like, you know, a game that, you know, Reflex was made for terrain deformation, has terrain deformation in it in the whole nine, and has a lot of it on some of the default tracks in the game, but then you go in here and most of the custom tracks are barely even running it, and they're pretty much all based off of pre-made. Does that tell you anything about anything? And then you go into MX Simulator, a game that's not even made for a terrain deformation system, and they force it into the pro racing, and then people are trying to, you know, build their custom tracks around it. It's just, God damn, some of you boys need to wake up to that, because it's ridiculous. But either way. So yeah, 8.5 overall, something like that. Difficulty, probably looking at medium to hard, because it is going to kind of give you a little bit of a challenge if you're not really expecting it and you're used to any of those other tracks out there. It's not like super, super difficult mud track, but, you know, medium to hard difficulty. So either way, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Don't forget, all my videos are in playlist on my front page. All my track reviews, wide open videos, custom tracks, real life videos, helmet cam videos, all that crap's on my front page. All you gotta do is scroll down a little bit and go to my playlist. So either way, it is. Catch you boys on that next video. You know what I'm saying, dog?